So this is a model showing a multipolar or a motor neuron. Just imagine this is the cell body or the soma. It's in two parts, but just imagine that this is connected here at the top, all right? So it's all one piece. It's all a multipolar or motor neuron. They just have the cell body with the axon hillock detached. So like I just said, right here, this would be the nucleus. This structure is the cell body or the soma. And because it's a multipolar neuron, you're going to have multiple dendrites coming off of the cell body. And the dendrites are those receiving portion of the neuron. So it receives the information. So these are all the dendrites coming off. These little gummy structures that are attached to the dendrites, this will confuse students because it's not attached to anything else. These are representative of the axon terminals and synaptic knobs of the presynaptic cell. Okay, so if you were to imagine that there's a presynaptic cell before this, a presynaptic neuron before this one, and it synapsed with this one, these would be the axon terminals with the synaptic knobs. Okay, so the presynaptic cell, presynaptic neuron, these would be the axon terminals, synaptic knobs, which synapse with this postsynaptic neuron to tell it what to do. Okay, so again, cell body or soma, dendrites, these would be the axon terminals of the presynaptic neuron. Right here where the cell body comes and narrows out, this is called the axon hillock, okay, axon hillock, and then it leads into the axon. So now we're going to go over here. Here's our axon running down the middle. This is just a portion right here. It's showing you what the axon would look like on the inside. So because the axon is just an extension of the cell body, this is all surrounded by a plasma membrane that we give a special name called the axolemma. And then all this stuff on the inside, you can see little mitochondria and other cellular organelles. This would be the axoplasm. So this is the axon going down the middle. What's surrounding the axon, you can see how it has concentric rings. That's because these are the Schwann cells that wrap around the axon to insulate it. And remember I said if you were to take a cross section through a myelinated axon, those Schwann cells, it looks like a little pinwheel, like a little Debbie treat, because it wraps around it multiple times. Okay, so here, this is a Schwann cell. You can see its nucleus pushed to the periphery, because it's wrapped so tightly, the nucleus gets pushed to the side. This is a Schwann cell wrapped around an axon. Here's the nucleus pushed to the side, and then so on and so forth down the length. The Schwann cells are a part of the peripheral nervous system. Schwann cells make up the myelin sheath, which is a collective name for all of the Schwann cells along the length of an axon. And it's called the myelin sheath because these Schwann cells are primarily composed of myelin, which is a lipid, very lipid rich, so that it can act as an insulator. Having an insulator around the axon allows for a faster impulse or a faster conduction of the impulse, because the action potential can only take place at the nodes of Ranvier. So right here, between these two Schwann cells, this would be a node of Ranvier, and then so on down the length, okay? So because those action potentials can only take place at the nodes of Ranvier, it's called saltatory conduction, and it hops, and it goes down the length of the axon at a faster rate. Right here, this connective tissue that's surrounding an individual neuron, an individual axon of a neuron, this would be representative of the endoneurium, right? This fibrous connective tissue wrapped directly around an individual neuron, that would be endoneurium. And that's it.